Bucs fans, Bucs Nation, the hooligans. We made it, baby. NFC champs going to the Super Bowl in Tampa, Florida. First Super Bowl to be hosted in a city in which that team is playing in the game. In the history of the NFL. So there's been 54 Super Bowls prior to this. And the Bucs were the first team to make the Super Bowl in their home stadium. That's usually announced over a year prior to the game. So just an unbelievable game. This whole season the Bucs have shown glimpses of being a team that can put it together in all three phases of the game when they want to. I think that, in terms of special teams, defense, offense, all of them played super clutch. We had so many big splash plays today that it was just too much for the Packers to handle. What a game. Brady, although he had 3 picks in the first half, played phenomenal. In the second half, he was super clutch on certain drives, and then that last drive, the big throw to get the flag on the Tyler Johnson play. And yes, Green Bay fans, it was a flag. You can't not call that. I was at the bar earlier, and I had a bunch of morons saying, "Oh yeah, the Bucs they had the refs on their side because of Tom Brady's a cheater, and the refs always look out for him." That is the stupidest shit I have ever heard in my life. If you look at the game, I remember this kid was telling me, "Oh, Chris Godwin hit the guy in the helmet when he was going up for the catch." I'm like, bro, what? If you go up for a catch and you accidentally hit the guy with your elbow in the helmet, no ref is calling that. They were trying to say there was some type of holding before the Scotty Miller play. You know how many times Shaq Barrett got held today? Like, the refs weren't calling any penalties on either side. I want to say each team was penalized like twice, maybe 3 times. And the times that the Packers were penalized, one of them was that encroachment that they intentionally did. So, if you have only 3 penalties all game, you can't say that the refs blew the game for you. It's insane. A bunch of Brady haters out there. Yeah, Tom Brady, he only wins because he cheats. That is like flat earth conspiracy. It's not even a conspiracy theory. It's like saying fire is cold or water is dry. Like, you don't get to 10 Super Bowls being able to cheat your way through. You might be able to get to 1, but you don't get to 10. And there's still people that are like, yeah, the Bucs got the win. Tom Brady didn't play well. We're not even at this point if Tom Brady's not on the team. Anybody that knows football knows that. And just because you throw 3 picks doesn't mean you didn't have an outstanding game. There were games where we had Winston throw 2 or 3 picks, but he threw 500 yards and put up 40 points. So the storyline of the game really was the Bucs had 2 turnovers and got 14 points off those turnovers. The Packers had 3 turnovers, but only scored 6 points off of their turnovers, 2 field goals. So I think it was either 2 field goals or maybe 1 touchdown with no extra point. I forget. But that's the game. Usually they say if you win the turnover battle, you win the game. But it's not really necessarily if you win the turnover battle. It's how many points you get off those turnovers. That tells you what wins the game. So although we lost the turnover battle, we won the point off turnover differential. So. We'll just start with that. Let's get all that out of the way. Packers fans, Aaron Rodgers is not the GOAT. He's not the BOAT. He's not the best of all time. let's put that to rest. He stunned Aaron Rodgers today. Aaron Rodgers had, what was it, 3 back-to-back opportunities off turnovers to score points. You know, it was 3 and out on one of them, and then I think he picked up first down on the other 2, and then we stopped him afterwards. So, the clutch play of Aaron Rodgers is similar to kind of Brad Johnson's play in the 2003 Super Bowl run. He didn't necessarily play, out of his mind, but he played smart. He made clutch plays, made big time throws down the field, and that's what Brady did today. The biggest play in the first half, in my opinion, was the Scotty Miller play down the sideline. Absolutely incredible throw. If you watch that replay, Tom Brady threw it as he was going back. Ended up hitting Scotty Miller on a 40-yard dime. Incredible catch. Scotty Miller is the receiver that we were expecting Deshaun Jackson to be when he first came to the Bucs. So Scotty Miller is the better version of Deshaun Jackson, because Scotty Miller is willing to run after the catch. He's willing to run different type of routes. Deshaun would just only run goes. If he didn't get a go route, he would basically take the play off. So I don't want to get too sidetracked, but offensively, Leonard Fournette, I think he had 50 or 60 yards. Big 20-yard run. That run was amazing. He came out hot. Rojo had a couple hard runs. It looked like they were kind of trying to stuff the middle, because they know that he's a pretty explosive runner when he can break through that first kind of A gap. So he did okay. I mean, he didn't fumble the ball or anything like that. I would have liked to see some more kind of stretch plays or more counter plays, because that's what he's pretty good at. We didn't run play action a whole lot today. We did run it in big moments. But yeah, in terms of our offensive line, they killed it. I think we only let up 1 sack, a couple hurries. Brady had all day to throw. Cam Brate with, the most secure hands arguably on the team right now. Just, catching a bunch of really, really important third down plays. Gronkowski with a huge catch. I think he only had 1 catch, but it was huge. Ended up getting 20 yards. Ran faster than I've seen him run all year. Just a beast. Came through in the clutch moments. And then his blocking skills, honestly, have been the MVP type performances we've needed. He's played amazing when it's come to run blocking and pass blocking. Who else we got? The kid Tyler Johnson, another huge catch, another great kind of diving catch. He's got some hands. Usually Chris Godwin is our Chris Carter-esque hands type of guy. But Tyler Johnson has been playing nice. If AB can't go in 2 weeks, which I'm sure he will, I would love to see Tyler Johnson get some more targets. Chris Godwin had a couple drops today, which is kind of concerning. I don't know what his deal is, but he did have enough plays and a huge 30 or 40 yard catch in the first half that really kind of turned his day around. Mike Evans also a big day. I think he had over 100 yards. Either way, he had a monster game. A touchdown reception. Definitely, those you would like to see a couple of those deep balls come back. I think Brady was kind of almost just throwing it up there as a punt type of situation. You don't like to see that. Really, those are the only time Brady gets picked, is when the pressure comes and he just throws it up to kind of Hail Mary it. You don't really see him get picked a whole lot when he's in rhythm and throwing it to someone across the middle or something like that. It's usually a tip ball or a Hail Mary. So the Packers pretty much, in my opinion, got lucky. That tip ball where Mike Evans should have caught that. Another case of the drops. They got that pick. But we made enough close plays. Special teams. Jadon Mickens had 2 or 3 really nice returns. At one point in the season, he was cut. We waived him, and then he signed back with the practice squad. We were messing around with Kenyon Barner. I think the entire fan base was missing. What is that cat's name? TJ something from last year. Because our return game this year has honestly been one of the worst in the league. Same with our coverage unit as well. But I think the Green Bay Packers maybe had one. I think they had one 30-yard return. But everything else was, a couple yards. Jadon Mickens had like 3 or 4 pretty good ones. So if he's able to do that next week and break one loose in the Super Bowl, then we'll have a great chance to win next, February 7th, which is ironically my birthday, Bucs gang. So, yeah, special team was nice. Oh, Ryan Suckup, man. What a clutch kick. 46 yards right down the gut. I mean, his leg swing is just so pretty, man. Every time he kicks it, it looks like he's swinging his leg slow to, get that right, that accuracy. But yeah, my man is a beast. Our kicker woes have been solved, man. This guy's a beast. So, hats off to him. Defensively, oh man, let's start with I guess I'll start with the bad. So, we let up a lot of unnecessary first downs with these short kind of over the middle crossers and shit like that. So our secondary didn't really play all that well. They played kind of a bend but don't break style of defense. Besides that one pass to Valdez-Scantling, we didn't let up any big plays. I gotta say that Andrew Adams and Mike Edwards didn't have any moments where I was like, oh man, these dudes just blew their coverage. So they stepped in pretty good. Yeah, I mean, other than the secondary not necessarily playing good at times, everything else was on point. Our defensive line was getting pressure. Vita Vea was getting pressure. Shaq Barrett, 3 sacks. JPP, 2 sacks. 5 sacks. You can't ask for much more than that from your defensive line. A bunch of pressures, a lot of coverage, a lot of instances where we were just blitzing and, he was throwing to, spots on the ground so he wouldn't get picked. So a bunch of throwaways from him. So our defensive line played a tremendous. The 2 turnovers that we did have. Sean Murphy-Bunting he's playing a lot more aggressive, which is nice. He needs to watch his hands and make sure he doesn't hold. But on that one route that he jumped, I'm hearing Packers fans say, "Oh, it was pass interference." Dude, they were letting both the receivers and the corners be handsy all day. He didn't grab him in a way that necessarily, cut him off from touching the ball. He had his hands on his jersey and his, within them 5 feet, and then he was kind of handsy towards the end of the route. But he jumped that route. I mean, you got to take your hat off to him on that play. He just, he made a hell of a play. I can't sit here and say, oh, they should have thrown that flag. Nah, they were letting it go all game. The Packers won the turnover battle, so they should have been able to score on the ones that they got. So, but yeah, the interception that Murphy-Bunting had, that was a tough catch. Even if you're a receiver, that would have been a tough catch. Ball rifled down the middle. He kind of had to reach out for it. Great play. Really liked his play today. And then, what was it? Jordan Whitehead coming through, hitting the ball with the top of his head off of their running back, Aaron Jones. And then Devin White picking it up, running it back. Just 2 huge plays. Devin White, again, had a great game. You feel like every time he's in the vicinity, he's going to tackle. He's going to get a sure-handed tackle, take him out. Um, so yeah, defensively, just an awesome performance from our front seven. We just need to really focus on our corners, being able to guard the Chiefs and their fast receivers. That's going to be a challenge, but I'll probably do a video next week or the week before the Super Bowl, getting into those matchups. But I mean, man, what can you say? The debate is over. Brady is head and shoulders above Aaron Rodgers as the GOAT of the NFL. I think the argument is basically made that Tom Brady is the greatest professional athlete in the history of North American sports. I don't know if there's a close second. I guess a close second could be, maybe Jordan in his prime, maybe Babe Ruth, but at this point, you got to 10, Super Bowls, win potentially 7. It's never going to happen again. Some people will say, oh, Bill Russell won 11 NBA finals. There was like 12 teams in the NBA at the time, and half of them were, unathletic white dudes. He was dominating the league with, Bob, the accountant from down the street, was playing in the NBA, half the season. So it was basically him and Wilt, at the time. So I'm not going to say it's not impressive, but it's definitely not as impressive as Tom Brady's kind of run over the last 20 years. Plus, dude, 43 years old. The guy's going to play for another 2 years. I think he's going to be with Tampa for another 2 years. I think, if anything, even if we don't win the Super Bowl, Brady knows, and the team has proven to him that we can compete for Super Bowls year in and year out with this collection of talent we have, and we're only going to get better because for the most part our team is young. We might lose an AB or a Fournette, but this team's going to be good for the duration of Tom Brady being here, and hopefully, after. Hopefully we can, make that transition with a new quarterback. So, just super excited, man. I mean, that game was a heart attack waiting to happen. We kind of let the Packers come back in the third and the fourth, but I mean, wow. When we got that fumble recovery and Bright hit the touchdown for us to go up big, I think we were up like 20. I want to say like 28 to 10 or something like that. I can't remember, but I was like, I thought we were gonna blow them out. Then they ended up coming back. And when Tom Brady kept throwing picks, I was like, fuck, we're gonna lose this game. So either way, guys, you can't be more excited as a Bucs fan. I mean, 17 long seasons of, just underperforming quarterbacks, turmoil at head coach, not very wise decisions in the draft. It seems like we've just had a bottom-dwelling team for the last 17 years for the most part, and for us to go from 7-9 to 11-5 and in the Super Bowl is pretty exciting. I think that we have a bright future ahead of us as long as we can make the transition from Brady here in a couple years. But yeah, not much else to say really. The Bucs have had such a great year so far, man. This is probably the most fun I've had watching this franchise since I was a kid. Definitely the 03 season. There were a couple years after that we were pretty decent. 05, I want to say we went to the playoffs. But yeah, it hasn't been this good in a while. You would love to see nothing more but the Bucs win in Tampa too. I got my flight ready. I'll be down there. If anybody lives in Tampa and wants to link up, also in the comments section, give me some good spots that I can watch the game at. I would like to be ideally close to the stadium at a bar somewhere. I don't think I'm gonna be able to pay enough money to get a ticket from somebody. But yeah, I'm down to link up with any Bucs fans, watch the game at a bar, do something like that. Hopefully, find a place to stay cheap for the next couple nights. Tickets from Tampa, going anywhere that Monday after the Super Bowl are like $300 a pop for like the cheapest one. So luckily, I was able to hop on a deal as soon as we won the game. Ended up coming away paying like $120 round trip from Philly to Tampa. So, anyways, give me a like, give me a follow, share this video to some of your friends. I'm trying to get my followers up, get these Bucs YouTube channels kind of all together. I watch Bucs Nation, I watch Bucco's Locker, Tampa 2. So hopefully we can all kind of get a collection of Bucs YouTubers and make a bigger kind of network of people. But anyways, C Tyson synopsis. Coming in with the real. I'll check in with you guys later, baby. Bucs gang.